After removing the ESL, you have to remove the EIS in order to get somebody to fix it, because they need to be able to test the product. They need to be able to test the ESL with the EIS so that they work in sync with each other. Now, in order to move the EIS, there's actually a special tool you can buy for like $12, and you can buy this anywhere on eBay. And basically what it does is it goes into the slots that's available. So if you look inside here closer, you can see these slots where these sit in like so, and that's how it comes out. See, and when you turn it, it just unscrews it, and that's how you remove the EIS. Then you simply have to pull it out. It just unclips like so, and you just have to undo all these clips. Now, in order to remove these clips, you have to do it like so, okay? There's these two pins on the back here. I'll try to give you a... You have to press on these two tabs here. There's these two tabs here, one on each side. 1, 2. And you press in on them. Press them in like so. And then pull backwards. And it unclips. And you'll see it come out like so. There you go. And to reinstall, all you have to do is push this. Make sure this is in first. Push it in, line up the tabs, and then simply slide it in and push it back. That's all you have to do, like so. And then it just slides back in like so. There you go. And these two plugs here at the back, they just, you can see the levers for them. There's one there and there's another one back here. So there's one right here and then there's one back here. You just have to press on these two levers and the plugs will simply unplug. And that's how you remove the EIS. Now for reinstallment, obviously you plug them back in. Make sure all the plugs are in. You don't want to have anything loose. Okay, and that's that. There we go. You want it to clip back in like so. It's nice and snug. And reinstall the EIS. I'm going to use my tool, but just to show you another trick of how to remove this, you can actually do it this way, because as you can see, all you have to manipulate is these two prongs. So what you can actually do is this, guys, check this out. Now you push on one side and then you push with the other and counterclockwise, and you can actually turn the whole thing like so. Watch, I'm gonna show you guys right now. There you go. You can actually do it like that, guys. Look, see? And that's how you can take it out if you don't have an EIS tool remover. And then you just twist it out. There you go. And that's how you can remove it if you don't have an EIS removal tool. And I'll just put it back on, just for demonstration purposes. I wanted to show you guys. There we go, back on. And that's it for the EIS. Now we have to maneuver the ESL back into its position. Okay guys, sorry I look a bit like crap, but I've just been recovering from sickness. But anyways, after you finish removing the ESL and the EIS, whichever it may be, or whichever you're trying to fix, and you've done whatever you need to do to fix it, make sure you do test the product. Make sure you plug it back in with the battery disconnected, and then put the key back in the ignition, and then plug the ESL back in, pull the key out and push it back in, just to make sure that the ESL works. The last thing you want to do is put everything back together and then realize that the ESL is still malfunctioned. Okay, so remember that, guys. It's very important, or else you're just going to waste all this time and it's a pain in the ass just to get it in and out again. So make sure you guys test the product, test the ESL or the EIS, whichever it may be, after you've fixed it and done whatever you need to do. It's very important, guys. Remember that. Then we just need to reassemble everything. and we're good to go. But I just want to show you guys why it's really hard to record how to remove the ESL and fit it back in. So as you can see under here, you can barely film anything under here. So now after you're done, everything has to be done by touch. So you basically have to reach around, push the ESL in and make sure it's in the right position. Okay, now to put the ESL back in, all you have to do is lower the column enough so that the ESL can slide back in. And what you're going to have to do is do it all by feel. Okay, you have to do it all by feel and touch, guys, because it's just really hard to get tools behind here and stuff. And besides, you don't need a tool to put the ESL back in. All you actually have to do is hold it in place, and that little lever, that little screw that you depress, that's what's going to allow it to slide back in and then lock back into place. So it's not too hard, but the only hard part about it is reaching behind here with the actual ESL in hand, with the pin facing that way, because you need to put the screw back on. Now obviously you can't put the screw on until after you put the ESL back in, because the screw is what secures it to its position. So you have to take the ESL in your hand, make sure the pin's facing out that way and the plug is at the top left hand corner facing outwards, facing that way, and then you can plug it in first if you'd like to, but I left it all till the end because you can still reach the plug. And then you simply just grab the ESL, slide it into place, hold it in place like so, and then once you have it in the position you need it to be, you just have to push the pin in with your finger like so, push it in, and then it will drop into place. And then you just have to slide it in so that the depressed pin comes back out of the locked pin position. If you've done this before, you'll know exactly what I mean, but if you haven't done this before, that's okay. You will get the gist of it as you start to do it. But just be sure that you actually know what you're doing before you start this, because it is a big job. But at the same time, if you take your time and do it right, you're not going to have the problems that other people face, just as long as you do it right the first time. That's what. Okay, and then once you have the ESL in place, you need to secure the nut back onto the ESL pin, that screw pin. So this is all I did. Now as you can see, I'm coming around from the back here, just where you see this thing, and I can feel by hand where the ESL is, and there it is right there, guys. So you can see that position there. I can tighten and loosen it, as you can see. Okay, now that's on the ESL screw right now, that 13 mil nut. That's what this is connected to at the moment. So as you can see, that's just I just wanted to show you guys an example of how you do it by feel. As you can see, I can't see it at all, but I can get this onto the back of that screw, and this is how you take off the screw as well as reinstall the screw. Okay, now it's important that you do get this screw on snug, but not too tight. You just want it on snug so it holds it. There you go. Now to reinstall everything, the first thing I like to do is put the cluster back in, because I don't want to leave that line around. So in order to refit the cluster back in, I recommend to cover your steering column, because I didn't do that last time and I scratched my screen. So just put a cloth over this, because you do need to lean it like so before when you put the plug back in. Now the plug is very long, so you want to plug it out here. Give it enough room. Now it can only go in one way. Follow the prongs and the tabs. To reinstall this cluster plug, all you have to do is line it up and push down as you're pulling the clip back over, like so, and it just clips back in just like that. See, now that's not coming out because it has that locking mechanism. But make sure that your lock goes over the tab at the top here, just like when you removed it. There's a little tab on top right here. You just have to make sure that gray lever slides over it, and then it's locked into place. There we go. Then all you have to do now is position it back into place like so, and you just want to slide it in and then turn it. need to put back all 4 T20 screws back in, like so. There's 4 of them. Make sure you get all 4 back in, line them up properly as well. Remember guys, if you're using a power tool, don't just go full throttle. Take it real slow, nice and slow. You do not want to damage anything. Patience is the key when it comes to working on your car, guys. With patience, you can get a lot of jobs done. But if you rush things and, you know, are impatient and are trying to take something out when you haven't fully removed all the screws yet, that's how you break stuff. Take it from me, guys. I've made so many mistakes, but I've learned from them, hopefully. But yeah, that is the key to working on your car, guys. I truly believe it's patience. With patience, you can get any job done. And there you have it, guys. Now that's back in. Now we need to put the bezel, the surround, back in. Okay, now want to line it up like so. Make sure the pin comes through the bottom here. Here we go. Now we just need to line it up. Actually, no, we cannot put this bezel on yet until we put on the surrounding part for the column first. We need to put this surround back on first. So we'll grab that. Reason being that it actually sits over the top of this. So you'll see what I mean in a sec. Okay, so we'll put this back on. There you go. Now that sits into place there like so. Now this can simply sit over the top of that. It holds it. Make sure you line it up, and then it just clips in like so. There you go, guys. Perfect. Now wipe all this down. You want to keep it nice and clean. Oops, sorry guys. There we go. Okay, now to back it up a little bit to show you guys how I install the bottom. Okay, so this is my throttle controller, guys, so remember, if you don't have it, don't worry about it. Now I have my throttle controller installed like so. Leave that there. And feed some of the wiring through. This is how I've routed it, if you guys didn't see from the other video. So, okay. And then we need to make sure we get this in place. Now we need your column. Make sure you line it up. You want to put this yellow plug back in. Now this yellow plug actually used to come with a black little clip on top of here. I haven't got mine anymore, but it doesn't really matter because it doesn't come unplugged. But if you still have it, make sure you put it back on just to have that extra security. And now we just want to plug this yellow plug into this plug right here. I don't know if you can see that right now. Let me see if I can give you better light. There, that plug there at the top right there. Okay, and it just plugs in like so. Okay, clipped in, and now we line this up. Let's not forget to clip this thing onto the bottom of it, the steering column, and then there. That's back in, guys. Perfection. There we go. Now I just want to make sure everything's straight. There we go. Perfect. Now for the wheel. Make sure your battery's disconnected, guys. Remember, you don't want any errors. There you go. Just plug that back in there. Now we just need to get our steering wheel bolt and put it back in. Move everything out of the way. And just remember, guys, do this by hand first until you get it snug. Then you just want to tighten it. Do it all by hand. You do not want to use a ratchet and tighten it. Once it gets snug, then you can attach the ratchet and tighten it down. Okay. There we go. That's back on. Now for the airbag, just put these, push these things out of the way, these connections. Okie dokie. Then for the airbag, and we're pretty much done, guys. It was that easy. See that? It is that easy, guys. Now, there you go. And then you simply just line up the airbag, line it up, and push it in. There we go, and it's clipped back in. Look how perfect that is, guys. We are complete, just like that. Now let me remove this camera to show you guys. There's the finished product, guys. Everything exactly the way it was before. Now all we have to do is replace the put the bottom tray back in, and we're done. Well, that's it for the wheel, guys. As you can see, now we just have to replace the tray here and we're complete. Yeah. Well, there you have it, guys. That's it for another video. So remember, please like, subscribe, hit that notifications bell, share the video, do whatever you need to do, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting